Support LaneSide. Get something cool. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Drill Room, episode 13. Once again, I want to thank you for joining us, this time with sound. As we've said before, this show is about you, the bowler. We wanted to give you an opportunity to ask those questions that you've asked on YouTube, but get a much more interactive answer. Have a chance to learn, have a chance to really drive the show and find out what you want to know. Once again, I'm the Bearded Beast, and we're going to be going through a whole host of things today. Before we get started, I want to remind you to follow us on social media. Go to LaneSide Reviews at live.com. There you will be taken to our Facebook page, where you can definitely message us. You can also find us on Twitter, Twitch, where you are right now, YouTube, TikTok, what else was there? There's a whole bunch of them. Instagram, Poopsie Doodle, Who's or What's It, some of those aren't even real, wait a second. But don't forget to follow us. If you put in hashtag TEAMLSR or look up LaneSide Reviews in your web browser, you're probably sure to find us. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe on our videos. If you're not watching us live on Twitch tonight, don't forget that our replays are on YouTube the next day. So, hey, welcome in, welcome. Before we want to get started, I want to really thank everyone who followed us last week, especially those who subscribed to us. That is pretty freaking cool. That money is already being reinvested into the show. We're going to be getting a new camera or at least a new connection for the layout room, so we can get some better video for when we're doing these. So thank you very much. So, on this week's episode, we're going to be covering a whole host of things. We're going to be going through the World Series of Bowling to give you an update on the scorpion and shark patterns, as well as look at how the World Championships is going. We're going to talk about that bowling cheat sheet, that sheet that I showed on the last episode when we were talking about hand positions. That apparently is hugely popular. So I'm going to let you know how you can get it. It's available right now. Hint. We're going to talk about some new releases. We got 4 new balls in. They're in the layout room. We're going to check that out in a little bit. We have a new Pro Shop horror story. And this is a good one. This is from today. This is a great one. And we're going to take your fan questions. So we're going to answer whatever you've said on social media, and we're going to take a look at what's going on in the chat room. So right now we've got mobile, we've got the blind guys. That font. I'm going to have to change the background so I can read some of these fonts. Awardna? Cool. Thanks all for being here right now. So let's check it. Let me see here. Make sure. Sorry about the computer borking earlier. For some reason, OBS just really does not like when you have Adobe products open. It really borks like huge. So we got that figured out now. So, as we were talking, we're going to go over to the World Series of Bowling. A lot of action has happened since Tuesday. When last we left off, our intrepid heroes...
Oops. Nope, that's not the one. Where is it? Internet!
There we are. All right. Where did you go? Hey, what are you doing? See, this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes this thing just, man, it just loves to bork. Okay, here we go. So, we've got the World Series of Bowling going on right now. We took a look at the cheetah and the beginning of the scorpion last time we were through. And I think I said when it comes to certain patterns, like scorpion, like shark, if urethane is in play, we're gonna see we're gonna see some scores. We're gonna see some familiar faces. Well, over to that scorpion pattern, and guess what? Kyle Troop, Jesper Svensson, Jacob Buttriff. And let this be a lesson to you out in internet land. No purple hammers. Jacob Buttriff is still bowling well. Just putting that out there. Jacob Buttriff, we've got Anthony Simonson. You know, Anthony Simonson threw a 97. Not a 297 or a 197, but a 97. 97 this week in one of his blocks. He has my utmost respect because he went and posted about it and talked about what was going on and what was happening and everything. I think it was really cool to see him talking about it. EJ Tackett. EJ seems to be really having a career renaissance right now. Through the pandemic, EJ didn't really seem to, even before that, he didn't really seem to be winning. And he has come back with a vengeance, literally. Chris Prather, Chris Vi, Michael Tang. Go figure, a Tang brother. Urethane in play. Oh, look, there's Packy, another guy who's really good with urethane. Tommy Jones and Jason Belmonte. I don't know if you guys noticed, he started the World Series really, really poorly, and he has been coming on like gangbusters. I would not be surprised if he sneaks into the cut line for the World Championships and then just does that Jason Belmonte thing again. So yeah, Kyle Troop led the Scorpion. You see here, I could go over who's leading overall at this point, but another tournament's happened since then. Which brings us to the Shark, the return of the Shark pattern, the 48-foot. And this pattern is really, really about controlling the pocket, making sure, because the oil is so long, making sure that when the ball comes off the pattern, it reads enough to get through the pocket, but not enough to hook past. And, well, there's that Pontus Anderson, who just pretty much lapped the field. Well, no, Kevin Williams also did very well. But both of them just kind of destroyed the rest of the field. A lot of purple hammers going on there. Just a lot of purple hammers. Jason Sterner, we saw him have a great opening block. I think he averaged 250 something. Christian Ascona. Oh, go looky, there's Jason Belmonte. Between two tournaments, he's at plus 500 and something just off of those. So I would not be surprised to see him sneaking up that World Championship board. Jacob Buttriff again. Darren Tang. Patrick Handrahan. We're seeing a lot of names be repeated here. A lot of guys who are having really good World Series. Dom Barrett. Tom Doherty at a 300. Mitch Hupé. Yeah! Mitch Hupé made match play. Another good Canadian boy. John Fury. Jake Peters. Always good to see. And there's Anthony Simonson again. Mr. I threw a 97, but I make every cut. That dude's pretty good, apparently. And let's see here. Oh, look. Yeah, there's Jason who's already snuck up to 12th. And this is the World Championships as of 38 games completed. Look at that. Tommy Jones led off with a 300. Jacob Buttriff up to second with 279 in there. Jason and Jason being really solid in 5 and 6. Anthony Simonson making a move for it. He jumped. Well, Packy Hanrahan had a 160 in there, so that pushed him down. Anthony jumped with a couple of good games. Yeah, we're seeing some names there. And look who's just outside the cut here. So we're looking at 3 pins for Chris Vi. About 40 pins for Kyle Sherman. That 189 there really hurt him. Norm Duke, the indestructible and immortal Norm Duke, is only 40 pins out. Legitimately, only 40 pins out of the cut for the World Championships. That's amazing. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So that's what's going on the tour right now. There's a lot going on. And, you know, our very first championship is coming up this weekend. 1 p.m. on Fox on the 13th. Is the 13th the Saturday or the Sunday? That's the Sunday. So good old-fashioned Sunday bowling coming up on 1 o'clock on Fox. If you have Flow Bowling, don't forget, if you're not in the U.S., you get to watch it live and for free. I put that up on my Chromecast all the time, so I can watch it on my big screen TV and relax at home. I'm lying. I'm never at home and I'm never relaxing. But I do put it up on the TV when I'm watching it at home, trying to relax and not doing a good job of it. So let's see what's going on. Woo, Darren Tang. He said today that's what he likes to do. That's right. Message deleted. Yeah, I know. I saw your hype one disappear at the beginning. I have no idea what that... I adjusted the settings on the auto moderator again, but it's pretty goofy. It just deletes stuff for no apparent reason. So we've gone through the World Series. We've looked at the World Championships. I gotta tell you, like going back and looking at these right now, Tommy Jones has a pretty big lead right now, up in first. Jacob's got a 40-pin lead, but EJ's almost 200 back. Chris is almost 200 back. So I think Tommy's got a pretty good shot at leading through here. Oh, we're seeing some more games start to trickle in here with Kyle and Anthony. Anthony's been really solid, as I said before. Oh, Ronnie making a... Look at that. Norm Duke making the run up because Ronnie Russell at 199 there. They're really tightening up. Like 20 pins separates 19th and 16th. I would love to. I'd love to see Tommy make the show. I would really like to see Butters make the show. Just because the Flacky's taken over the Hammers. I mean, really, this is the thing I don't understand. Jacob, when he was hot, when he was super hot and winning all those regionals, wasn't he throwing the black hammer, not the purple one? Like, I know he had the purple sprinkled in there, but he was winning a lot with the black hammer. But people say he cannot win without that 1916 and 1917 purple hammer. It was literally a hammer, and we just painted it purple. No, the soft urethanes. He's showing it that he can do it. I really, really hope he makes the show. I'd love to see him win it, just so he can kind of silence some of those people who always give him a hard time. And the guy has had a really rough last few years, losing his mom, so much going on. It would be kind of cool to see Butters win. And who doesn't love Butters? Like, don't you love Butters? Everybody loves Butters. All right, anyway, back to the show. That was supposed to be woo-hoo. Let's go, Jacob. Okay, so the bowling cheat sheet. That awesome sheet that I showed you guys, you athletes, on Tuesday that has all that really cool information on it. It is really hard to find a place to share PDFs. So I do have the PDF file available, and if you email me at lanesidereviews@live.com, I'll be happy to send you, the setup printable PDF. However, I have posted JPEG versions of the 8x10 sheets onto our Facebook page at lanesidereviews@live.com, and you can actually download those photos and put them in, and if you set your printer to print them double-sided, or if you want to flip it over and do all the fun stuff there, you too can have it right now. Has all that awesome information on the releases, when to use them and why, information. I'm a big fan of information at my fingertips, especially when I can't think. So, come on, load up. Load you. I'm loading it in the background here. If it'll load. Oh, come on. That's why I always make backups. Come on. You can do it. Maybe I didn't make enough backups. Today has been the day of technical glitches. I'm not going to let it get to me. I made another backup. Okay. So some of the other information on it, the lane play strategy, like or the order in which you should look at making changes. You do loft, angle, loft angle, speed, equipment release. So when you're looking to figure out when you want to make your change, do I have to loft it? Do I need to change my launch angle? Do I need to speed up, slow down? Then I can look at changing equipment. Then I can look at releases. Everything okay? So it gives you that idea. Deflection, where the friction is when you're looking for, thank you. When you're trying to figure out where your friction is on the lane, or how much transition you're going to have. Oh, that was good. When and how much rotation you should use. Let's see here. Knowing your lane surfaces, so AMF, HPL, Guardian, knowing your pins, natural versus synthetic. There's so much information on here. Knowing your lane machines, how they're going to put the patterns down, how you can put the same pattern down with two different machines, and they'll play extremely differently. Kegel 1 tank and Kegel 2 tank, and then Brunswick single tank and 2 tank. And then we've got things like our effective hand position. So all that is available on the Facebook page right now. Or if you want the PDF version, just email us and I can send that out to you. And now the fun begins. Because when I got to work today, while Purelator couldn't deliver my packages for my customers, my shipper for my new bowling equipment delivered. So why don't we go back to...
Why don't we go back to our drill cam here, and let's take a look at what we've got. So while I'm being a slow old man, talk amongst yourselves. Got my app loaded up so that I can see. Don't unmute. Oh, there we go. All right. So I can check out the chat room. My apologies for the mess. We were a little late getting started, not just because of the computer borking, but I was drilling equipment right up until we were getting started today. This is an active shop, so we get customers coming in from all over the place who, want to leave with equipment, and I do my best. I endeavor to make sure that anyone who comes in can leave in a timely manner and be able to bowl with what they've ordered. So I was a little bit behind. I'm sorry. So let's check out what we've got on the bench. So we've got the new national tournament winning Columbia 300 Speed, the Brunswick Defender, the Conspiracy Scheme, and the Bigfoot. Probably the one I'm most excited to talk about. We're going to save it for last. We're going to start off with the Columbia 300 Speed. Now this is an asymmetric ball. We're looking at an RG of 247 with a differential of 050 and an intermediate differential of 015. So we're looking at a ball that's got a fair amount of early potential to it. It'll spin up pretty easily. At 050 differential, we're looking at a lot of flare. And at 015, we're looking at something that's kind of in the middle. It's not quite on the symmetrical side of things. It's not quite really symmetrical. It's not going to roll forward. I think if you notice when Dom threw this on the show, the motion on it, even though it was asymmetrical, it had a small hook window on it. It really was getting around the corner for a big, strong ball. Now here's the question. How should we lay this one out, guys? Yeah, the speed does look good. This crimson and red and black, that looks so good. How should we be laying this thing out? If we go by the handy-dandy chart that we've used in the past, this would be our one of our ball ups. So we would be going with something that would be a little slower response. 50 by 4.5 by 75. That pin would be below the fingers with the mass bias kicked out towards the valve line. It's going to be something that's going to be a little smoother. Right, I forgot Rob was a staff member. We could do that with this one, or we could drill it. We could drill it as something a little stronger. Go maybe pin up with it. A little faster response, because we do have the Defender as well. The Defender from Brunswick, we're seeing kind of similar numbers to it. 247 RG of 054, so a little bit more flare, but an intermediate differential the same as 015. So we're looking at, the Formula 1 solid versus the Act 3 solid. We have two balls. We kind of have a choice here of the way that we can lay them out. So why don't you guys take a second and talk in the chat there, and we're going to lay it out tonight while we're here. So those are the first two, the Speed and the Defender. Woo! That does not look like Luke Cage or Jessica Jones. Nor does that, I don't see Charlie Cox hanging out anywhere either, so I don't think it is a Defender. Now, these two. So the conspiracy scheme is kind of a re-release, but I don't really like calling it that. It is a solid, so we had the original conspiracy, the Black Conspiracy, which was amazing. It was a little flatter with the surface on it. This one you can see has a little bit of a shine to it. Also has that mythical gold sparkle to it. Sparkle, sparkle. It's that new thing that makes all the Brunswick stuff hook like a bat out of HE double hockey sticks down lane. So even though this is a solid and we've already had it, I'm expecting a much different shape out of this, even watching people throw it. And there's been a lot of honor scores with it already. It has a bit of a different motion, a lot cleaner up front than we saw with the black one. So this one's going to be really interesting. And then this guy. Oh. Where's the gem? Oh, I wish I had a gem here. I would definitely drill that. That Defiant Core, Scoops, and Wayne love that ball. Just absolutely adore that core. And it's got a big fat cover stock on it that helps slow it down. I would love to have one of those here to review for you guys. Here's the Bigfoot. I love the color pour on this one because there's like green swirls into our Bigfoot. Reminds me a lot of the Guru Mighty cover stock, but nicer looking. The pearl is much more defined. So this is the new modified core. Let's see, I'll pull. I always keep all the old drill sheets around me here. Let's see, conspiracy, zing, results. So many drill sheets. And I still don't have the one I wanted. That's okay. The original version of this has much more of a band around it. And you can see in this one, they have cut it out, making more jetted peaks of that core. Now that creates a very interesting reaction when you drill it. Because when you miss it, when those peaks are not drilled into, this ball goes only to about an 0.11, 0.10 intermediate differential. Like most symmetrical balls, it stays very symmetrical. However, when you drill into one of these peaks, this ball stops being symmetrical by a long shot. You think about balls in the past like the Pandemonium. Its strongest drilling, the maximum flip drilling, left it with a total differential of 0.61, but only an intermediate differential of 0.11. You look at the Closer. Intermediate differential of 0.13, maximum differential of 0.56. Those are the results. The Incognito. The Incognito, 0.54, 0.22 for the most versatile, the 4-inch pin position. Those are asymmetrical balls. Okay, they're supposed to have that short hook window. Look at that. The Bigfoot has an intermediate differential after drilling of 0.20 in the maximum flip, or the most versatile is 0.19. Both of them with total differentials over 0.60. This thing basically turns into an asymmetrical hook monster. We're talking in the ways like the Incognito, Pearl, like the Ghost from Hammer, the Black Widow Ghost, like those kind of numbers. It becomes an incredibly strong core. Excuse me. And that larger intermediate differential gives it a shorter hook window than a regular symmetrical ball, but a longer hook window than you would see from a asymmetric ball. So it has a very special place when you're looking at reactions, because it's literally going to be the in-between ball between your strong asymmetric and your symmetric ball. This thing has been tossing some silly scores around. I know there was one that was put up, somebody shot 300 and then 3 279s, a ton of 300s, a ton of 800s. The ball hasn't even come out yet and it's got more honor scores than a lot of balls get, period. So this one is going to be a lot of fun. It does the core does look a lot like the Shapeshifter core. The Shapeshifter had that round band that went around from each peak, so that when you drilled into it, it created even more weird differential variations. So, but good pull, really good pull. Speed color scheme looks like the Ruckus Feud, yeah. Well, the Sasquatch and Bigfoot basically are the same creature. Nuh-uh. They're cousins. They live in different places. See, Bigfoot lives in the Oregon area. Sasquatch lives in colder areas to the north. Then you've got your Yetis and other manners of abominable snowmen. They live in frigid climates. Then don't forget your Wendigo, which is your native version. Your indigenous person, I should be correct on that. There's all sorts of different versions of the Bigfoot. So let's lay these out. Let's get some lines on these things, right? That's what we want to do. Now that we've talked about them, let's get some silly lines on them. All right. So for myself here, for this, I already had an idea of what I want to do with it, and seeing those numbers just kind of absolutely put them there for me. Yay, Yeti! Would you like a snow cone? Hey, hon? Would you like a snow cone? Oh, Monsters, Inc. Okay, so I want to take advantage of the cover on this thing and the core. This is a pearl cover, but it's still got that sparkle in it. I'm telling you, that sparkle has been the best additive anyone's ever found. It just makes everything hook a ton. Welcome to the Himalayas. Would you like a snow cone? So let's make this actually relatively strong. Let's go with a 4.5-inch pin position. Now I know on theirs they like that 3.5-inch pin position. I'm just worried it'll end up being far too strong. Going with a 4.5-inch pin position, we do get the intermediate differential of 0.17, which is still pretty strong. And then we can strengthen it up by increasing our drill angle to make it a little faster off the spot. Because normally, if we go by our drill chart, we would have gone with a 40 or a 35 degree val angle to make it strong but controllable. But we want to see what this thing can do, especially on a house shot. So why don't we go by 25 degrees? Do you think 25 degrees is too much, guys? Do you think it's going to be too strong off the spot down? I love gold! Do you think... that might be too loud. I don't know. Do you think 25 degrees is too much? Do you think that might be too fast response? I can never tell. Like, that's going to be really fast off the spot down lane. I might be a little worried about it. We'll take a look at it. We'll lay it out and we'll see where that pin sits. One thing that's nice is you can, especially when you have a ball that's going to have such a dynamic differential and intermediate differential, it's always good to look at where your pin's going to be, especially for your lower tilt bowlers. If your pin position gets too high, the ball will tend to roll forward too early. And while the ball looks like it hooks, when it gets to the pocket, it really just it hits like a dead fish. And nobody wants to get hit by a dead fish. It's just one of those things. I mean, somebody might want to get, Rule 34, somebody might want to get hit by a dead fish, but it's not me. Let's take a look here. That's going to be a tall pin position. That's going to be a pretty tall pin. Yep. This thing is going to be strong down lane. It is going to fly off the end of the pattern. Ever seen a Bigfoot fly? Okay. So we'll just finish putting some lines on there, bam. Okay, there we go. So we've got about a 3-inch pinned inside point here, so it's definitely pin safe. We are, I think, about 2 inches above our ring finger line. So this ball is going to roll forward a little bit because of how fast it's going to see the friction, but it shouldn't be too bad. Being it's still... it's not like an 0.30 or like differential. It's not going to just roll straight out. So this should be pretty fun. Liking this. Next, conspiracy scheme. Now, conspiracy scheme, if we look at this same layout that we put on this one, we're looking at an intermediate differential of about 0.30. But the total differential is only 0.60 compared to this one, it's 0.64. So this is actually going to have more differential than this. How crazy is that? You end up with a symmetrical ball with more differential than one of the stronger asymmetrical balls. That is silly. So for this one, we're going to put on one of our regular layouts. This is definitely a ball up. This thing just hooks a lot. So we're going to make sure it's a ball up. So we're going to go 55. by 5 inches by 35 degrees. I have a weird pour on this one, actually. I gotta show this to you. My ball has like fingers. Like weird round finger phasing on it. I don't know if you... No, I guess it helps if I actually show it to you guys, like right there. Weird finger phasing. It just looked like little like dots or something, I don't know. Alright, and we gotta trace my pap down. Pap down. And we go to there. And we trace across 6 1/4 inches. 'Cause I've got a silly pap. Who is a pap that's 6 1/4 inches? Like that's just silly. Alright. Got that marked. And boom and boom. And we've got 2 inches that way, which is perfect. Just put a couple more lines on this and I'll show you the positions. Okay, so we've gone with pin. This one is only about 1 1/4 inches above my ring finger. It's 2 inches from the inside line. You can see a fairly strong mass bias position in towards the thumb. This is the kind of layout we would have used to use for to really get the ball to read for our speed dominant players. With our mass bias there, we'd put a big old hole right on top of that thing there. A big old P4 hole, as big and as deep as we could to get the ball to read earlier. Now, it's just gonna hook a ton. So did you guys figure out yet how we're gonna lay out the speed, the defender? Are we going to go with a faster response layout pin up, or are we going to go with a slower response pin down on the speed? Nobody can decide yet. Guys are slow. You think we should go fast? Somewhere somebody is singing the theme, that Hey Pretty song from Poe. Don't you want to take a ride with this ball? Oh, I don't even really want to drill it because it's so pretty. Like the pour on it, the mix of the colors is just so nice. It's a shame to drill it. Even with the yellow on it, it's just so nice. Alright, so let's get ourselves a pin-up solid here. Now, what would you use this for, Rob, while we're talking about it? Well, especially for this one, if I'm seeing a lot of volume, if I've got to get that ball to start up, and my fresh ball, my slower response ball, if it's too smooth, you know, I might turn to this. I'll put a 5-inch pin on it. More for me, this is going to be about volume. A lot of the longer stuff that we're going to see, we're probably going to use urethane on, unless the lane beds are really bad, too much friction there, or You know, the gutter's not playable. This is going to still be smooth. It's not going to be sharp like our ball up that we saw in our hybrid, where we can change surfaces and make it more versatile. This is going to be this is going to be, we need a ball that's going to rev up fast, it's going to read the friction quickly, and it's going to make a move quickly. We need to get that friction. We have no defined friction point. We need the ball to read. Where I think the Defender, which we're going to do with our pin down layout, our slow response layout, that one's going to be a little bit more get the ball out there. We don't want it to spin up. Like, we want it to spin up quickly, but we don't want it to see that friction. We want it to lay off until it gets down lane, and then it can hook with whatever it's got left. Boop. On a house shot, this is just going to be, the pin-up one is going to be the one that you can, as a right-hander, you can move left early if you want to, and just strap on it and kind of, you know, hit it hard and let it turn the corner. I'm going to say that probably if you want to do that, you're going to want to change the surface, put a little shine on it to get it to speed up its response down lane, like Dom did for the championships. He had a lot of shine on his, which allowed it to get through the front part of the lane. And then once I got through the lane, it really had some traction down lane. How often should bowling balls be replaced, even with regular maintenance? That is a funny question. There's two answers on that. There's the person who's selling you a ball answer, and there's a coach's answer. As someone who sells equipment, you should have your span checked every 12 months to 18 months. And you should replace your equipment when it starts to see wear. If you are surfacing your equipment through the year fairly often, you will see a little bit more wear on the serial number than you would a regular bowler. So when that serial number starts to wear down, that's when you really have to start thinking about replacing it. So that's usually about the 2 to 3 year mark. As a coach, if you really like a ball and you want to keep it, keep it. Every ball has its place. You have to realize, though, that the reason that a lot of these balls come out with these new, stronger cover stocks is we're seeing new, slicker oils. We're seeing longer patterns. We're seeing new ways of applying it. So it's kind of a cat and mouse game, making stronger covers and stronger cores and so on and so forth. So a ball that you bought 5 years ago probably still has fairly close performance to what you could buy out of the value line or the not quite new release lines from all the companies that are still out there. 10 years ago, you're looking at probably the entry line. Like if you look at the cover stock on the Twists and the Rhinos, it's the R16, that's about a 15-year-old cover stock. So if you can still get performance out of your ball that you like, you can keep it for as long as you want. If you're bowling in tournaments or you're seeing a performance loss, replace your ball. And that's after you've gone through the steps of trying to clean it, having oil extracted, so on and so forth. Because those do make a difference. Having a full resurface, a deep resurface, and a deep clean will bring back a fair amount of performance to your ball, but it's not going to last as long as it did the last time when you had it new and it took time for the performance to wear down. It's just the fact of the matter. So if you're a bowler, so to sum that all up, the TLDR, if you're a tournament bowler, probably 2 to 3 years, yeah. If you're a house bowler, I think you can get away with 5 unless you're looking for something very specific. And if you buy at my shop, you should replace a ball every year. Definitely at least one a year. That's the official answer I'm supposed to give, isn't it? All right, let's get the last one of these and we can go talk some more stuff because we got lots of questions and stuff. So we said we were going to do this one with our fresh controlled layout. So that is going to be 50 by 4.5 by 75. And that'll place the, that's going to place the mass bias just outside. It's going to be past our valve line, which will help it spin up a little bit faster. It's like placing a weight hole past your valve line. It increases your flare. Pro Shop answer, you need every new ball coming out. Absolutely. No, honestly, as someone who has access to a lot of bowling equipment, I understand how quickly or how slowly they can wear out. Probably better than a lot of people, because we get them, we do a fairly extensive testing with them, and then we have the option of letting them sit and then come back to them and seeing how they perform. So if we come back to something and it stinks, like it loses performance or it's terrible, we can say something. We haven't really come across much yet. Knock on wood. Ow. So I think if you have a ball that you really like, if it's losing performance, absolutely replace it. Also consider replacing it with the same ball. A lot of people come in and they're like, oh, hey, there's this ball that I bought that's still in production and I really like the performance. What should I buy now? What are you replacing? Oh, I'm replacing that ball. Oh, well, why don't you buy another one? Oh, why would I do that? If you like it, get another one. That's me. Okay, so here's our Defender layout. So you can see our pin is about 3/4 of an inch below our ring finger. It's going to be slower response. And our mass bias is out past our valve line. It's about a 3/4 of an inch, not 3/4, sorry, 3/8 of an inch past our valve line. So that'll help it spin up a little bit better. So that is our 4 new releases I'm going to be drilling up this week. Hopefully we can get in and shoot them this weekend. And we'll be able to shoot them and get the videos to you guys, hopefully sometime next week. That would be really cool, I think. All right, so I'm coming back to the desk here. Whee! All right, so we got, oh, my logo, I didn't even notice that. My logo infusion is green, so yeah, it's green screening. Neat. I have a hole! Ah, I've been shot! So now we've got those in there. Like I said, I'm going to be drilling up everybody's equipment for the review this weekend, and hopefully we'll be able to get it reviewed and get it out to you early next week. Now on to one of my favorite parts. We had this 2 episodes ago, and I started to collect some stories. This is our Pro Shop Horror Story section, and I got a great one from today. While I collect some, please don't forget to check out our Reddit. We're going to be putting up a thing on there for our Pro Shop Horror Stories so you can share some of your own. We're going to be putting one in r/bowling as well, so you can share them, and you can just send them to us at LaneSideReviews@live.com or send them to us at our Facebook. Aljon Diego, hi from Greece. Thank you for joining us, much appreciated.
So I had a customer come in today, into my shop, and about, well, I guess it was Christmas time. I had a really, really ridiculous deal on shoes, basically less than half price. And I'd gotten some really nice shoes in for people. Some of the nice KR Hammer, the carbons in white and in black. Some of the 3G shoes from 900 Global. I had Team Brunswick's, my favorite Team Brunswick's in. I had like all the manufacturers. One of my customers picked up a pair of the Hammer black carbons, the high-end ones, that regularly go for like $300 here in Canada, with the interchangeable soles and the interchangeable heel, and I had them on for about $120. So a pretty good price. So he came in tonight to let me know, to pick up some equipment, to let me know how he was doing, and I asked him how his shoes were, and he said, "Oh, I didn't like them very much." I was like, "Oh, what's the problem?" He said, "Well, the heel and the sole could come off. They were Velcro. I didn't like that. But I got them to stop because, you know, sometimes they would peel a little bit. So I took out the glue gun and just laid a big old bead of glue all over it and some clamps and some plywood, and she's stuck good now." Not much I could do but smile. I'm pretty sure they'll stay on real good now. Absolutely. So that's my Pro Shop horror story for the day. If you have one, don't forget to send it to us. Well, I'll try to share it as much as possible. I even took the time to, when I sold them to him, to show him how he could change the heels and the soles and stuff, depending on if it was... And I told him it was too much shoe for him, but at $120-ish for that kind of shoe, you really, like, you... So much for interchangeable. Yep. No, they changed from sneakers and to bowling shoes and back again now. So, but yeah, that's my story for today. And now it's time for fan questions. We have gotten lots of stuff, lots of comments and questions over the last couple of days since our last show. So we're going to end the show as we always do by going through a few of those. Let's start on Facebook. Facebook, Scotty Lewis Thompson. That is an awesome glove and ShamWow that you got. Thanks for sharing them with us. Now over to YouTube. Studio. Come on, show me all my comments. Let's see here. From our last episode, we've got Hershey. I think he was on earlier, too. Referring to the shake hands part of the video, years ago I was first taught to hold the ball as if you were shaking hands through the swing rather than going from behind the ball around to shaking hand position. Was told to stay behind and under the ball and point your thumb. Ooh, nowadays I tell people it's more of a yo-yo as I watch pros like EJ. Yep. Now that I'm thinking of it, the arm wave dance move seems to be more accurate. Yep. But the motion is unloading the wrist. Yeah, absolutely. It is. All of the rev is from unloading that wrist and the way that you chase your thumb to your fingers. Depending on the direction, you can change your rotation very quickly. Love the stream. Thank you. Much appreciated. End of year theme. Corbin. Know why I hate the new rule? Because it's going to end up trickling down. Since this episode has gone up, we've already seen it. Yep, we already saw it happen at the U.S. Nationals. Hey, Brunswick is putting out a really nice replacement program right now. If you contact them, they will replace your hammer for you, and then you don't have to worry about it. And if you don't want to give it to them, you can send it to me, and I will happily send it to Brunswick to get a replacement hammer. I will take as many of them as you want to send. New Year themed rules are stupid. It's only a matter of time before they are fully banned. I don't think we'll see them get fully banned. I think before they go that way, we'll probably see another durometer increase, the hardness, before we'd see them ban everything again. Because it's a lot easier for them to just say it has to fall within these specs, and then, oh, it's not actually banned, you're just not allowed to use it. Let's see here. Archer may have loft as part of his game, but he was lofting too high during... Yeah, he is... Man, talk about a guy who can loft with ease. DJ Archer's style. I would never teach that to somebody, but I bet you he can bowl on anything, because he just doesn't care about the heads at all. That front 15 feet of oil, dead to him. Scotty Thompson. My mom will be getting me a Radical Spy on Thursday. Congrats, that's awesome. I love my Spy. One of these times when we get out to the lanes, I'm going to get to review it. We keep getting so much stuff, I just never get time to throw surface on it and review it, but I really want to because it's a great ball. Somebody complaining about durometers and saying that everyone who throws a purple hammer is a cheater. That's great that you've had an experience that your personal durometer measures differently. I want to remind everybody that durometers have to be calibrated quite often, and they have, I believe it's 5 or 7% margin of error, which on this, you think on a 72 can go as low as 68. So if, you know, what will it be on an uncalibrated one, depending on, it also depends on temperature. They keep them at a certain temperature when they do the testing. They do an average of 10 punches. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff to go in there. If you have your own, that's awesome. But it's what they get, not what anybody else gets. As for older stuff, not losing durometer measures as much, you've just been lucky. I also have a Grizz, and I cannot throw one of my 2 Grizzes because the Grizz is now under 70. It's quite a lot under 70, but it got stored outside in a colder environment for a while, so it's all about testing it on time. That's why they've gone to the system of just rotating them every 2 years. It's a lot easier to not have to worry about how they've been stored, how they've been treated over a 2 to 3 year period, rather than a 20 or 50 or whatever year period. I don't think limiting technology at all is a way to fix this. You look at the kids, they get their PBA's Sport Ball 3.02, I think it is now. They still shoot 250s with it. Like, it's not the equipment, and that ball has almost nothing. It's like basically a nothing ball, and they still can shoot huge scores with it. It's not about equipment. I wish people would get off it. Equipment is a tool. Look at the athletes we're producing now. 10 years ago, we didn't have the kind of video analysis that we have now. 5 years ago, bowling didn't look at physical fitness the same way we do now. I have athletes who are in the gym 4 nights a week, 5 nights a week working out. They're putting in as much work as powerlifters, as track athletes, as baseball athletes. Bowling is slowly becoming a sport with athletes in it, and we're seeing a stronger, more specialized athlete coming out now. We're seeing much better coaching going on. That's why we've got guys like EJ at 135 pounds has a 550 rev rate, because his game has been built in such a way that his timing is perfect. He doesn't need all the strength. He's using his leverage to do this. And we never had this 10 years ago. We didn't think about these things. 20 years ago, we didn't worry about surface. We didn't worry about layouts the way we do now, we didn't worry about all this stuff, and scores were lower. Now that we've become much more specialized, scores are going up. Bowlers are getting better. So limiting the equipment is not going to do it. We're just seeing a renaissance, a better bowler coming out and bowling. My national athletes, I look at them. None of them throw the same way. All of them are becoming better and better athletes. All of them are throwing better and better scores. Like, that's what happens with athletes. Yeah, I would have bought him a different pair. I tried. Sorry, that's about the shoes. To add to hand positions, finger location can be used to fine-tune your reaction as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you share that cheat sheet? As I said, it's already on Facebook for you. Somebody asked, I've been bowling for a year, but my experience, it's a great starter ball. Oh, he's talking about a ball. Oh, the Fanatic, yes. Looking for a new ball. Nice video. Lots of people thanking us about our videos. I guess you guys really like the new format, and I'm glad. Anything that I have being held for review? Sometimes you guys get naughty on Facebook, and I have to review your comments. Gary, as always, enjoyed the content, information of these videos. Mentioned Big Bowling and the new ball. They have some interesting core numbers. RG of 255, differential of 057. Yep, that is a core that goes down lane and definitely has a lot of flair. And they've got that new record that came out, yes. Oh, here's somebody great. You can't call these ball videos if every ball is thrown the same way on a house pattern. I'm going to move on. I think you can make... Oh, no, that's... Lots of people saying, really like this, really like this. That people are starting to check out some of the older videos. I won't bore you with those ones. So lots of fun on that one. Lots of fun. Once again, I want to thank you all for watching us. This one's not going to be as long as last time, thankfully, because people hated how long it was. Now, that's blasphemy. I know. Fossil Bear, I'm with you. Looking for a suggestion to replace a desert tank, currently dropping from 16 to 15. Keep an eye out for that new blue tank from Motive. It hasn't even been announced yet. Smalls has been throwing it a lot this week, and from my friends who are Motive staffers, they're saying that's the ball to watch for the new urethane stuff. That's their big thing. So I think if you're looking at that, I would definitely take a look at the desert tank. Also, I would say, if you like the desert tank and you're dropping from 16 to 15, see if you can find yourself a 15-pound desert tank. If you like it, just go to a lighter weight. Another one of those things. You like it, keep it. Anything else in here? Sorry if I've missed any comments in the chat there. I think I've caught up on most of them, though. Doing my best. Just going to make sure I haven't missed any last questions before I send us all along our way. Along our merry way. We are currently up to... Oops, wrong one. Where are my subscribed friends? Wow, 78 new subscribers since Tuesday. Holy moly. That's pretty good. I think you guys are listening. Well, I did promise that once we got to 40% subscribed that I was going to give away a whole bunch of stuff. So, I guess I'm probably going to have to get us there, aren't we? Where is it? Son of a gun, I can't find it. They moved my menu on me. Subscribed. Not quite 40% yet. We're not quite there yet. We're almost there. A little bit longer. So remember, guys, please make sure you're subscribing on YouTube. We have a lot of cool stuff. We have, I think I've got at least 10 jerseys I'm giving away. There's at least 10 in that bag, isn't there? Might be 20. I don't know. I'm giving away a lot of jerseys. A lot of awesome jerseys. And that's just for watching and subscribing on YouTube. We're going to make sure that we reward you all for making us as successful as we are. Want to remind you that this show will be up tomorrow, sometime tomorrow for replay if you didn't catch us tonight on Twitch. Our shows are always on the next day on our YouTube page. Make sure that you like, subscribe, share them, put a like on them, put a note, because remember, when you put your questions on them, we read them out here on the show. We answer them for you if you can't be here. I want to thank Scoops for being in the chat and for being here on the show. He and Wayne help make all of this possible because we need somebody to throw the bowling balls. And look good. I'm not doing it. So we need somebody to be sexy on the videos there. And don't you know that Scoops is a sexy, sexy man? Don't forget to follow us on all of our major socials. Look up hashtag TEAMLSR or LaneSide Reviews. We're on Reddit. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all the things. Don't forget to send us your emails at lanesidereviews@live.com. On our next show, we're going to do more of your questions, and we're going to do, we'll talk about if we were able to shoot the review videos and what our first impressions are. And we're going to go into some drills and things that you can do at home to help you get better away from the lanes. As we're getting into these summer months where we're going to want to be outside more, I'm going to give you some training tips as to how you can work on your game as a whole while still getting some sunshine and not having to pay for lane time. That way when you do get to the lanes, you can make the most of it. That's right. Damn sexy. So I think that's about it. Guys and girls and everywhere in between, they, them, me, you, he, she, all of you are all welcome here at the Drill Room because this show is for you. So until next time, we'll see you LaneSide. And I even know where the intro screen or the outro screen is this time.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a show. So until next time, guys, we'll see you LaneSide.